My name is Kyle Hefner. I'm the Brinson Wellness Coach, and today we're going to talk about a topic that's very popular among some people, the weight loss, or we call weighing your options. And some of the key points we want to talk about is why do people gain weight so fast as we age? And the American College of Sports Medicine reports that everyone's going to gain weight as they age unless they're physically active. So activity plays a big role, but we may be creatures of habit and we tend to eat the same throughout our life, and so our expenditures, how much energy we're using, tends to go down as we get older. So we're not physically as active, and so therefore we don't burn as many calories, and those calories, basically the body will start to store them. And so that's one factor why people gain weight as we age. You know, some people might gain just a pound or two, but if you multiply that each year times 30 years, you're talking about a significant amount of weight. And there's a term for that. It's called creeping obesity. But so how do we address that? And one of the most common things we have to remember is that it's important to apply some principles. If you want to lose weight or better manage your weight, you might want to think about some things like, number one, making sure that your energy expenditure is enough, and certainly being physically active to burn more calories than what you're actually consuming. But number two, you should make some moderate changes to your diet, not extreme changes. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of dropping their calories to very low levels, say under 1,000 calories per day, and that's probably too extreme, so the body starts to react to that and really kind of goes into a starvation state. And the body will want to hold on to all the fat that it may have stored. So it's going to really interfere with weight loss. Another factor that people don't realize is that their sleep and their stress can affect them. So if a person is trying to lose weight and they're not sleeping, they're going to have a lot of difficulty losing weight. And the same thing with stress, because stress causes the body to produce a survival hormone called cortisol. And cortisol really tells the body to hold on to all the storage that it can for fat and other vital resources. So energy balance is important, as I mentioned, making sure you're physically active and certainly activate the muscles that you do have and even build some additional muscle, because we know that muscle is metabolically more active than fat tissue. And in fact, if you build some additional muscle, you're going to just burn that many more calories on a 24-hour basis. Another factor that I did want to point out is that the type of food that you're eating, certainly protein burns more calories when you go to eat it because it stimulates the body's metabolism 20 to 30%. So it enhances the metabolic burn essentially when you go to digest protein. So protein does have a positive effect on weight loss, and that's why a lot of people emphasize, in fact some diets like the Atkins diets and others will emphasize low carbohydrate and high protein intake, really to try to stimulate the metabolism so people burn more calories and they lose more weight. But in general, you would want to keep a balance of carbs, fats, and proteins in your diet and not get out of balance nutritionally, because nutrition is a balancing act. Another major factor for people in terms of their weight loss is they really have too high of blood sugar, particularly after eating certain foods, and they really need to control the blood sugar or make sure the blood sugar doesn't go too high, because anytime the blood sugar goes way up high, it tends to promote fat storage. And so I would do some reading about the glycemic index, which is a list of foods that helps really provide some insight on how much it's going to affect your blood sugar. For example, beans or oats are going to have very low rating on the glycemic index because they don't elevate the blood sugar like something like a refined carbohydrate would, like corn flakes. Learn more about the glycemic index and how you can use that to your advantage and avoid the real high spikes in blood sugar. And there's one more factor that people are probably not aware of in general, is that the body, the fat cells actually produce a hormone called leptin, and leptin sends a message to the brain to stop storing fat. under normal circumstances. But unfortunately, diets that are high in sugar tend to make the brain resistant to hearing that message. And so it's important that a person back off on their sugar in the diet and really emphasize the right type of foods, particularly omega-3 fatty acids that you might find in fish. And really, those will tend to help reset the brain's ability, along with moderate exercise, either intense to moderately intense exercise several times a week, and then along with a low-level exercise on the other times during the week. But it helps to reset the brain's ability to hear the message from the leptin hormone. And so that way the body will get the message, oh, we don't need to continue storing fat. And often what we see is that people tend to lose weight after a month or so after they've begun to improve their diet and help the brain kind of reset its ability to hear the leptin message. Then check with your healthcare provider if you have any health concerns before you exercise, or certainly if you're dealing with some health issues. And then I would determine a fitness goal or a weight loss goal that is realistic. In other words, it might be 5 pounds, or it might be just 5% body fat change in your body composition. And focus on the process, not so much the scale weight. And if your clothes are fitting looser, that's a good sign. It means that if you're trying to lose weight and your clothes are fitting looser, your body composition is changing, whether the scale weight is actually changing or not. And so keep those factors in mind, and hopefully you can pace yourself and get some results. Thank you.